Welcome back, guys. It is absolutely beautiful out today for what I would consider the middle of winter. It is 60 degrees today, so super nice day today. So what is on the agenda for today, may you ask? We have got the red truck. We are going to pull it out of its little hole here. We are airing up the tires because today we will be working on it for about the first time we picked up this truck. We knew that it was going to need a ton of work, so yeah, we're gonna start today. Once we get it inside, we'll go over some of the official game plan with this beast. But first step is getting our friend Milwaukee over here, filling up those tires. And let's get this thing inside the shop. That thing's awesome.
Gonna learn today.
Gonna learn today. Yeah, we got some learning. We got some learning to do today. That's for sure. What do you say, Sound Mike? You have another P.O. box in there. Did you poke a hole in it? Did you do that? What? There's a hole in the bag in that package in there. Were you trying to peek before we opened it? Did I just call you out?
Can't be caught off guard, you know?
Oh, there's two P.O. boxes in there. One's addressed to Michael. And I'm like, there's a hole in it. I was like, that wasn't there. I know you're trying to peek, man. You're trying to peek and see what it is. Oh, yeah. Fires right up. All right, the red beast is in the shop. We are getting ready to put it up on the lift to basically take the transmission out on this thing first. Again, we bought it knowing that it needed all of this work, so we're just gonna dive in. Michael, we don't really have a plan, do we? We don't really have a plan. The unofficial plan is we need to get this thing running and driving first. We need to inspect the rest of the truck as far as the engine goes. So we're gonna pull the transmission out because we know the transmission needs work. We need to put a valve body in it. We probably need to do a couple other things to the transmission. But before we do pretty much anything, I wanna take a peek inside the engine. I wanna take the cylinder head off. I wanna just make sure everything is good before we start spending our time, money, and effort to bring this thing back to life. My first hurdle with this truck is to make sure that it checks out healthy wise. So just in case we decide to say build the trans or do something with the transmission, we don't find out something in the engine is a surprise to us. So that is where we are headed today. Just kind of giving it a little bit of a check over, pull some key components out, check some things out. And stay tuned, see if we find anything interesting, and just to see how the engine looks inside. All right, here we go. We are going to start with the drivetrain. Transfer case, get this transmission out. We might be doing something a little funky with the transmission because we don't really want to undo the whole entire front lift. So we're gonna see if we can't weasel it out without taking the transmission cross member out, but here we go. Transmission coming out first. All right, we are moving along. Transmission, transfer case, got the converter. Michael might tear that down here in a little bit, but we are pretty much ready to set this thing down and start pulling the cylinder head off of this thing and see what we can find. We were able to sneak it around the engine or the transmission cross member here. And yeah, we're gonna drop this thing down and pop up top. We've been over how to remove all of this stuff plenty of times, but really, if I do a very simple thing, transfer case is really just 6 9/16 nuts that go on the back here, or 14, whatever you want to call it. The studs go through here, you unloosen them from here. Got your converter bolts, your bell housing bolts, all that stuff. And yeah, we're about to find out what the inside of this engine looks like here very, very soon. Did this thing start leaking out of places that we didn't know it was leaking out of before?
Started leaking out of the bottom of the jack.
I think we may have developed a new leak that we didn't have before we started doing anything. All right, before we do anything else, go ahead. See who did this? Somebody may have popped a hole in this. This one is addressed to you. Silent Mike. P.O. box down in the description. This one says me. This is from Amazon. OMG! All right, we got a note in this one. Hello. Hello. Is that thing on? Hold on. Or hold on. I know what's happening. Boop boop.
Oh man.
Oh, we need some batteries. Is there a note in that one?
I don't know. This is too much fun.
Oh, there's a note. There's a note. There's a note. Oh, here you go. Here you go. What does it say?
Hope this makes you less silent, or at minimum gives you the little one something to annoy Greg. From Isaac in Pittsburgh, PA.
Nice, Isaac. All right, this one we have got some coffee monsters. Figured you guys could go for some coffee flavored monsters. Enjoy your videos, Isaac. Oh, this is from Isaac too.
Nice,
my man. All right, we need to get some batteries. We should get some batteries, and then when Allie comes in here, just hey. That's funny. That's funny. You know what we're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to walk around with a lanyard with it on your thing every time you go to answer a question. Oh, that's funny. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, speak up. Come on. Do you want me to help you? I think we got this nice fancy table here. Yes. It's like a milkshake. Strawberry milkshake. Their piece is falling out. else fails, bust out the torch. We got one head stud that does not want to come out. So a little heat action here, see if we can't get her to pop. Yep, like a glove. You have to say over. Michael, are you there? Here, I got this for you in case you need to say anything in this clip here. You got Pyle. Pyle's your friend over here. All right, guys, we are torn down, ready to kind of discuss where we are at with the truck. Michael and I have been discussing the fate of Big Red here for quite a while. So let's just go over kind of where we're at, what we have discovered. We have got the cylinder head off. We have torn down everything upper end wise on it. Does look like the cylinder head was off at one point. You can kind of see some whiz wheel lines in there, and it's a little hard to tell. But if you look back in there, number 6 and number 5 right here on this side have some pretty significant scuff marks in it. I would say that if you are gonna deem an engine on its way out, I don't know if you want to give that a percentage. It'd be like if it came in for a head gasket job and you're like, I mean, you've got some time, maybe it'll probably run, maybe not even run bad as of right now, but the scuffing in the cylinder walls is definitely a little bit of a concern, I'd say, if you're gonna keep a truck long term. So cylinders 5 and 6 have some pretty significant scuff marks in them. The rest of that stuff should clean up. Just it's been sitting for a while. But on top of that, the cylinder head doesn't look really too bad. I think it was this exhaust valve right here. I forget exactly which one. Looks like it may have a seat problem. Maybe it was not sitting flush all the way on here. But other than that, it doesn't look like the cylinder head's cracked or anything. Does have some whiz wheel marks on it. It's never had the truck running, so it's hard to tell. Nothing to certainly call it dead in the water, but definitely a couple concerns if we are going to build it and go further from that. So that's kind of where the engine is, would you say? Nothing else inside of here. We knew we were going to have to replace some of the engine like hard parts like push rods, valve springs, stuff like that. The injectors, we can't really tell too much with the injectors, so don't really know about those as far as condition, health. Again, I think it'd be a little bit different if we had the truck running at some point. The truck had never really run. So yeah, you want to walk over to your transmission zone? Where's your mic? Where's your mic, bro? Get that for you. Here you go. Here you go. You have to talk about the transmission the entire time in the microphone. Megaphone. All right, so Not So Silent Mike has got the transmission torn down.
Yeah, so starting from the front, this is the pump. You can see where it's galling, or it's just hitting the inside. It's hitting here. And then every band has plenty of heat marks in it, like the dark marks are the bad ones.
Okay.
And there's our other band.
Some hard parts inside the transmission if we were going to rebuild the transmission or keep the automatic in it. It is a 47, not a 48. I believe that's a 2003 thing where they didn't swap to a 48 quite yet. So some of the planetary gear, stuff like that in there aren't really the nice 48 ones. So, you know, we knew the truck needed all this work. There's no surprise. Today we wanted to strip the truck down to kind of see where everything was at as far as transmission engine wise, so we can make a decision going forward. So that is kind of what we've been discussing, where we're at. I don't know. I feel like we need to ask you guys what your opinion is. Obviously, there does get to a point where a truck reaches how much money it is going to take to completely redo everything versus turning it into something else, doing something else with it. Maybe one of you guys would like this as a parts truck, as a roller. Michael wants to build a sled pulling truck. I don't even want to entertain that because I know you guys will automatically agree with him. So I don't know. We don't know what we're going to do with the truck right now. But if any of you guys are interested in any of this stuff, reach out to me. But again, I think what we're going to do is just sleep on it, kind of get a game plan and go from there. You know, the engine needs some love if we're going to try to make some power with it. Certainly there's cheap ways to do everything. The transmission parts that we're gonna need to hold any kind of power are definitely going to add up. Most of you guys know how much a built transmission costs, even though our man Silent Mike can take care of that, build that. You can't get away from how much hard parts cost. It has a factory input, output, and intermediate in it, so to hold any kind of power, we're gonna need to get some billet shafts, a different converter, all of the hard parts that are needing to be upgraded and stuff in there, and on top of the engine stuff. And that's not even accounting all of the other stuff that's, you know, that we didn't really get into today. You know, wheels, tires, suspension, other stuff that needs to be fixed on the truck. So little bit of a tough spot for Big Red behind us. So I'm not sure. Let us know what you guys think. But we have, well, I wouldn't even say, I was gonna say we have made a big mess, but that's the guy, this Greg has made a huge mess. We have a huge mess to clean up. Yeah, here we go. We gotta clean up all these parts and get this thing ready to be pushed back outside.
Man, I just never looked inside here. Smelling so nice.
Go ahead, hand throttle.
Right here.
Well, there she is, back in her temporary home until we decide what we want to do with it. So anyway, guys, that is pretty much going to wrap up this video. Let me know what you guys think we should do with it, or if we should just concentrate on other projects. My mind is just kind of in a million different places. Obviously, you guys know we have a ton of work to do on a ton of various other projects. I'm not sure. I just don't know the game plan. I don't know where that fits in, all of that sort of stuff. Should we concentrate on other efforts? There are other things we want to do in 2021 besides rebuild Dodge pickup trucks. We want to get into other things, rebuilding other stuff, maybe not even in the Dodge diesel family, you know, maybe some other diesel powered stuff, maybe some swap stuff, maybe some Ford, maybe some Chevy, maybe some Dodge, maybe some Duramax. I don't know, but this certainly falls in the line of pretty much a lot of things that we've already done. So anyway, like I said, my mind is not made up, my mind is not decided, my mind is just literally all over the place with that thing, what to do with it, and I'm kind of indifferent. I kind of can see it going away, I can see it getting fixed. I'm just not really sure. I would love your guys' input. Let me know. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and staying tuned into where Big Red is currently at in its life. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hit the like button before you leave. Subscribe if you have not already. I will see you guys in the next video. We got a road. Can you hear me? You have to say over. Every time you end a sentence, say over.